there might be some food shortages or things not on the shelf, but I just don't know if it's at a point where people are feeling like they can't eat. I don't see that yet, at least not the masses. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, hey, you can take your chances.
Right,
You can
right.
take your chances, and you can hope.
Yeah.
You
Now I
like,
understand you
hey,
saying,
like
being
I said,
prepared.
some people hope and some people wish.
Right. Yeah. No, I got you. And like you said, better
You
to
can
be
hope, but
prepared
I
than
wish.
not.
I wish a motherfucker would. Oh, all right. So, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Real Brothers Live. Real Brothers for the Real World. I'm TL, and that's my man Stace.
What's up, y'all?
And we here for another week, and we would like to welcome y'all to our digital neighborhood. And hopefully we have some good conversation tonight. As a matter of fact, Stace, tell us what we're working with.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly podcast, the digital neighborhood, Real Brothers of the Real World. I'm about to let you know the topics that we have on deck. While I do that, TL is going to put the link out there. What's up, good family? Whoever that is. TL is going to put the link out there, so feel free to click on the link. Tune in, because as we always say, we love to get your feedback. All right, today we have a couple topics. We have 4. Forgiving oneself versus accountability, traditional roles, Neurolink, and if Trump goes free. Those are the 4 topics that we have today. But as we always do, which is customary, before we get into the topics, TL, do you have a random, man?
Yeah, I do have a random. I wanted to talk about we're gonna talk about that Roe versus Wade situation.
Yo, yeah, it's crazy.
Yo, man, that's
Crazy, man.
that's real crazy, man. Like that's 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 on the level of crazy. Like how these old white men
Yeah,
in the government going to tell a woman what what their situation is, like
right.
not even what she could do with her body, but what's her just her situation. Like
Mm-hmm.
the government don't own people. You
At
get
all.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and then here's my opinion on this. Here's my opinion on this, and I posted something about this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Right? America better be careful, and I say this because of this. People are under the illusion that we live in a democracy, and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
And this right here, this ruling right here shows you that this is the perfect example of why we don't live in a democracy.
What do you mean, like?
Because the majority of the people don't want that.
Okay.
Haven't voted for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This was and this wasn't even put passed or put down by legislature. This was done by the Supreme Court.
Right.
Who in the history of the Supreme Court, they very rarely, if ever,
Pull back.
turn back law that's already settled.
Right. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No.
So
I agree.
So the next thing that's going to be next, they're going to be looking at gay rights.
Yep.
Right.
What you call them already said that. Clarence Thomas already said that they need to go back and look at some of those other rules that aren't in the Constitution.
Then they're going to be looking at voting rights.
Yeah.
Then they're going to be looking at civil rights. And then
now,
the next thing
they're going
to be looking at slavery.
Now, I a couple things. Clarence Thomas mentioned items that aren't mentioned in the Constitution. Mm-hmm. Those are the last ones that you mentioned are in the Constitution. Voting rights and slavery. So I don't know if let me finish this.
Okay.
I don't know if I think that they'll be able to pull that off. Now I think they'll be able to claw back, like you said, talking about gay marriage, and it was another one that they were talking. Even interracial marriage. They might be able to claw back some of that, because those aren't covered directly in the Constitution. So, you know,
States, they already changing voting laws now as we
well,
speak.
making it tougher, right? Making it tougher. I agree with that. I agree with that. This is what
So
I'm
don't
going to
say
say
what
on
they
that.
can't do. They can do anything they want to.
Well, again, when you talk about what they're doing now, they're in certain areas they're making it tougher to vote. But I can't see the Supreme Court doing what they did for abortion to voting rights, meaning they're not going to pull something that's mentioned in the Constitution back and say voting rights is no longer represented. You know what I mean? I
Let me
can't see
ask
that
you.
happen.
Let me
That's the
ask you a
difference.
question.
Yeah.
5 years ago, would you have said that they would turn over? You would have said the same thing about Roe versus Wade? Is that not right?
Well, yeah. I didn't think they would do it. Well, but you know what? Wait a minute. No. Let me go back. Because if you think about it, and that's one of the problems that they're having now. Because when these judges went through the confirmation hearing, a lot of them kept saying it's settled law, meaning once it's settled law that okay, you don't want to go around messing around with that. So a lot of us, a
Right.
lot of
There's a lot of
people,
settled law.
well, true. But again, I just I can't see that happening. I think that might be a bridge too far. Again, agree. Now let me say this. One of the things that they were talking about now was that now that they did this, I put a post up the other day, and I said that voting matters. That's always my little tag. Voting matters. And one of our buddies, Shai, said that's short sighted. I was hoping that he was going to come on so that we can have a discussion on what he meant by that. And this let me elaborate. What I was saying is kind of, well, not kind of. What I meant by that is that when you said that we don't live in a democracy, the reason that they were able to do this is because they've been putting up judges and they've been working in the state offices where they can once the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, the states can now pass laws to make it illegal because it's still happening at the state level. That is why in some states, like, it's still legal because the Roe v. Wade just got rid of the protection at the federal level. It's really at the state level they're going to say, okay, yeah, we're going to ban it. So when I say that voting matters, I mean that we have to make sure that we become more involved with voting at the state level. So I think that's where the differences are made. That's why in Pennsylvania it's still legal. You know what I mean? So that's what I meant by that. Voting matters because you can't only look at what happens at the federal level. We have to be involved with what happens at the state level because that's truly where that's one of the big areas where the power reside, and you can't overlook that because that's where they're, like I said, that's where those states are saying we're going to ban it. You understand what I'm saying?
I kind of get what you're saying, but I disagree with it. Not wholeheartedly disagree, but to the point where if you only have to look at our history to see what's possible, right? When you say I don't think, they've proven that's a possibility because it already was a thing. You get what I mean? Like slavery, and I'm not saying that they bring it back slavery, and I'm not saying that, but a lot of the civil rights laws and all of that, those laws had to be made federally because the state laws,
Right.
people in these racist states,
Right.
they do what they want.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just the same as how they make up these rules and all of this stuff for the Mexican people now. I mean, they always have somebody that they're gonna pick on,
Right.
or that they're gonna, try to, scapegoat.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Scapegoat. Yeah.
So what the thing is gonna happen is they're gonna they may not bring slavery back, but there's gonna be a people there's gonna be a people who's gonna be scapegoated.
Mm-hmm. This is
You
always
get what
the
I'm
case.
saying?
Now-
And
But now,
then on top of that, you have the whole uh our whole economic uh thing that's going on, right? Then you got a food shortage. We're close to having a global food shortage.
mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So we're not far removed from some like third world type shit.
now,
You get
now,
what I'm saying?
I do, I do. Let me respond this way though. When you said you're right, and I agree with this part. They've been talking about overturning Roe v. Wade for a long time, and there are a lot of people. Unfortunately, now I agree with you. It is very undemocratic that they were able to do this because I think they say 70% of the country believes that abortion should be legal in some form. You know, maybe not at the very last month or what have you, but they believe that some form of abortion should be legal. I don't hear people out there talking about, a lot of people out there talking about pulling back on civil rights or pulling back on the 14th Amendment. Because I think someone starting, some politician or some group out there saying that we're here to try to talk to the Supreme Court about, reversing the 14th Amendment or something like that. They're going to be looked like they'll be looked at as if they were crazy.
Let me ask you a question.
You know,
Let me ask you a quick question.
yeah.
What do you think is meant by "Make America Great Again"?
Oh, I know exactly what that means. That means bring it back to where it was. But now remember, Knight, I could
Well,
argue
what do
that
you?
they're
What, no,
talking
no,
about.
no. Well, what
But
do
but
you
but
think that
I'm about to
means?
respond. I'm about to respond to
Okay.
that. They could. I think they could wrap themselves up in saying they're talking about traditions, meaning traditional marriage, traditional marriage, and they might even be talking about getting rid of gay marriage. They might be talking, they might be referring to that when they say "Make America Great Again." But no one has said. I haven't heard anyone, like I said, large groups of people, other than those dudes that walked out with the tiki torches talking about you would not replace me and all that kind of stuff. When immediately they are sidelined and politicians, for the most part, move away from that position. So again, I can't see a groundswell of people or enough people coming up saying that we believe that black people need to be whatever, and then being able to run on that as a platform and get anywhere. Like I said, I just think that that position will be sidelined too fast. I just can't see it.
Okay.
I mean, that's just my opinion. And you're right. We all hope. What's up, Pat? Let me just read what Pat said. Pat said these people were screaming, what is it? Human rights.
My
When the-
rights.
what is it?
My rights.
Oh, my rights. When the mask mandates came out, my body, my choice. How does that not also apply to pregnant women? Makes zero sense. True. I mean, though, and what Pat is saying, I agree. It's and he's talking about all the hypocrisy, and
Right.
and I think that's the part that kills me. Like you have these politicians, especially Republicans, because that's who's calling for that, talking about saving the babies and all that other kind of stuff. When I'll pull back what you said, what you put on your post. Wait a minute. So you're talking about saving the babies, but what about once they're born? It's that all that hypocrisy kills me. And I'm sure, Nike, listen to this. I'm sure that there are a lot of them that have paid for abortions themselves.
Oh, for sure.
That they paid for abortions and they've been out there screwing everything that moves, but yet they're talking about getting rid of abortions for other folks. Because
Right.
they will be able to still get abortions. They'll be able to travel. They'll be able to send their kids to other states and get abortions. That's the hypocrisy.
And let me tell you something else. Speaking about that post that I made, a lot of people who didn't see the post,
Right.
the post that I put up said that these people, all these people that are they're against the abortion of a fetus,
Right.
but they're okay once that same fetus gets to be a teenager,
Right.
they're okay with the stand your ground law. They're okay
Right.
if you shoot it to death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's okay.
Right.
That's cool. You don't hear
No
nobody
protections once they're born.
screaming about that.
Right.
But a fetus.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Now that's
Right.
hypocrisy.
That's hypocrisy.
Like you can stand your ground and kill a black man or
Or a kid.
Hispanic man,
A kid.
or a
Right.
kid,
Once
or
they're
go
born.
shoot up a school,
Right.
or do anything like that. But they won't change no laws to fix that.
Right.
You get what
Right.
I'm saying?
That's
They
the
gonna
part
pick
that kills
on
me.
Now that's
That
the
kills
that's
me.
the
Right.
that's the shit right there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
galling right there.
That, you know, that's a good word, Knight. That is galling because, like I
Right.
said, you look at all these men, older white men, mostly talking
Right.
about protection of the family, blah blah blah, all this nonsense. When you know that maybe half of them have little chicks in DC and they have their
Right.
family in whatever state they're from. You
Right.
know this, but
Right.
here you are talking about family values. That right there, that is galling. That is galling.
Yeah. And to me, I love my neighborhood. I love this neighborhood that I'm in.
Right.
I love my country. Well, our government is full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well,
I ain't scared to
people.
say it, and
Yeah.
I don't give a shit
Yeah.
who got something to say about it. Our government is full of shit.
Well, because the government is made up of people, and a lot of those people are full of crap.
Those people, but the government is not run by the people, and that's the issue. The government is not run in a democratic. The government is not ruled as a democratic society as it should be.
Right. Right. I mean, again, like I said, that overturning of Roe v. Wade was undemocratic because, like you said, the majority of the country disagrees with it. So you know that was a power grab. That was and I know we got to move on, but Clarence Thomas though, man, I just don't understand. You know, I don't understand. It just seems like is he just a bitter man? I don't get it. You know, I just really don't understand his thought process. And like I said before, I read his book years ago. Huh?
Step and fetch it.
Is it that?
Step and fetch it.
Yeah, you know.
You know what? The thing is, he not even step and fetch it. I won't even disrespect the man like that. You know what it is?
What?
He's owned by corporate interests.
Yeah, but
those people that are pulling the strings at the top,
but the corporate interests don't care about abortions. They don't care about that.
There's an agenda involved. We might not know what it is,
right?
But there's an agenda attached to it because why else would they do it?
Yeah, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That has always been the agenda, though.
There's an agenda attached to it, and the thing is, it's bullshit. But you know, like I said, it's not even Clarence Thomas. It's the person that owns Clarence Thomas.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the puppeteer who's pulling the strings
on
Biden, on Trump, on all of it. The whole government, man. The government is not run by the people. Like I said, the government is run by corporate interests and those people that are in power.
Right. Okay. All right. So you ready to hit these topics, man?
Yeah, let's hit them. That shit is like, man, that shit is depressing. But
I agree.
It just brings my, like, I don't normally let my vibration be lower.
Yeah.
That shit is a drain on your whole psyche, man.
And it's not even the fact that they're passing that law. I disagree with it. It's the hypocrisy of it that I'm looking at these dudes saying this stuff, and even some of the women that are out there saying this, you know, they're out there protesting, they're anti-abortion when they probably had 3 and 4 abortions themselves. The hypocrisy of it.
Right.
That's the part that kills me. When you climb a ladder and then you pull the ladder up so nobody else can use that same ladder. That hypocrisy, that affects my energy because I'm looking at them like, yo, that right there is crazy.
Right.
You know. All right. 4 topics tonight. We got forgiving oneself versus accountability, traditional roles, Neurolink, and if Trump goes free. Where you want to go?
Since we already on the fucked up side of the topics tonight, let's go ahead and talk about the Agent Orange.
Yeah, if Trump goes free. So first of all, have you been tuning in a little bit? Have you been seeing some of the January 6th trial?
Actually, I hit it every now and then because they basically spewing the same shit over and over again. You know what I mean? Like it's like I said, man. It's a circus. It's like it's all theater. That's what it is. That's the better word for it. It's all theater, right? Because this shit happened in 2020, right? January 2020, January 16th, 2020. It is June 2022. Everybody saw what happened with their own eyes. Right? Everybody saw it.
Right. No question.
It was on the news.
That's right.
It was all over social media.
Absolutely. It can't be denied.
People were killed. It's an open and shut case. It is. If this same person would have been like somebody from North Philly or somebody from the neighborhood, their trial be over already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got people purposely lying to the when they have evidence, like the one guy who was giving tours
the congressman.
Of the thing. He talked about he was giving tours with people and their children, right?
Yeah.
As people are taking pictures of the stairway,
pictures of hallways, offices. Yeah, that's right. They were cases.
That, right?
Right.
But see, because he's who he is, they let him go in and say, "Oh yeah, well that's not the way it was," and he gets the benefit of the doubt. When you know he's lying, there's no. I mean, come on. Like,
well, now the couple things though, and I'm gonna use the word which I know you hate. I get that, justice is slow sometimes. I get that. Right. I mean, I get it. But I think the other side of that though, Nike, is that I wonder if they're afraid. I mean, well, which I do understand.
Afraid of what? Afraid of who?
But listen to this though, because if they were to come out and just use the proof that they have and go arrest Trump in Mar-a-Lago, would people react? Yes. Yes, people would react violently.
They would react.
No. I'm not saying don't do it. No, listen, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that you have to be careful. It's almost like, look at this. Here's an analogy, Nike. You go into a hospital, right? You and 5 other people, and you take over that hospital full of hostages, and all of y'all have heavy weapons, guns, and all that other explosives. They're gonna run up in that hospital a little differently than they would if it was just you with a handgun. So my point is that this whole thing is a powder keg, is what I'm getting at. And they know that if they go down there and arrest Trump, even though he should be arrested, that his minions, his followers, the people that drank that Kool-Aid, they would hit the street, and that could be the powder keg to make the whole thing blow up.
The U.S. government has the military behind them.
Agreed.
They have the whole United States military, Air Force, Marine.
Agreed.
I
understand all the
Navy,
armed forces, the whole
Air Force. Yeah, so what do you mean?
But do you disagree though that they know? Again, use my analogy. If you and 10 of your homies went into a hospital and took the hospital over, and you had all the doors rigged and everything else, you had explosives, you had bazookas, do you agree that they're going to go into that hospital? They're going to storm that hospital a little differently than they would if it was just one person with one handgun. Do you agree with that?
They're gonna get SWAT, they're gonna get snipers, they gonna get them people who know that shit,
But
and
do
they gonna
you
come in
agree?
and do what they do.
Right, but
If
but
it
you,
was
so
me and 10 my brothers in there, they gonna
but if
come
it,
and clean that shit out.
but would they? But my question to you is
No,
though.
but that's what
No,
would
no,
happen.
no. But you didn't answer my question. My
I
question though
did.
is: are they going to try to go into that hospital with you and 50 of your other homies a little differently than they would if it was just you alone? Again, the answer to that is yes, right?
Yeah, that's without question. Of course they would.
So my point is that like they, and again, I'm not saying that he doesn't need to go out in shackles and chains and handcuffs and everything else. I think that he does, but I think that you have to show they have to put on a strong case like they're doing. They're doing it the right way with this trial.
Put on a strong case.
Yeah.
The entirety of America saw what happened, Stace.
I know, but listen, like, but remember though, you had 70 million people that voted for that person. So you need to pry them loose and show them why you need to go and arrest him rather than just going up with a little bit of evidence, with the running up in Mar-a-Lago with a little bit of evidence and lock him up. You need to, you got to show that, because again, this whole thing is a powder keg, like you said during the first discussion. You have to be careful with that.
Let me ask you something. We from Philly, right?
Absolutely.
Do you remember Mumia?
Move, the whole move thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember that.
You remember so it was him and his people in there, right?
Yep.
Same scenario you give
Osage
it. Ain't a
Avenue.
bank. Same
Right, because
scenario.
they cleared, right?
They planned it out, and what did they do?
You drop a bomb.
They came in there and they wiped that shit. They burnt that whole block down.
Right, yeah.
So why is that different than what you're saying about Trump?
You know what?
And
Good
Mumia
question.
didn't do anything.
No,
he
listen.
didn't even do anything.
Let me answer that question though. That was a good question. You know the difference is though, Nike? You got 70 million fanatics that drank that Trump Kool-Aid, like we were talking about before we got on, that went and got guns and everything else. The same way they showed that they will go run up in the Capitol. What happens if you go run up in Mar-a-Lago without showing a lot of them the reason that you're doing it? That's the difference.
What about the
Did you hear?
I heard you.
Okay.
Well, I heard you. Listen. What about the 20 million black people who was offended by that bullshit that they did? So how is that different? If they give a fuck about how people feel, they wouldn't do a lot of shit that they do.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I understand that. I'll just go back to my original point. I just think that they know, like they have to handle this thing with kid gloves. I mean, and then that's why I think that this trial, they're doing it the right way. These hearings are being done the right way because they've already shown that there's some people that some of his supporters now believe that what he did was wrong. That tide is turning.
That the law should be different from him.
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No.
You did say that.
No. I didn't say the law is different.
Said you inferred it. You
No. You can't do that. No.
You
I said that the difference is you have 70 million people that drank the Kool-Aid that they've already shown that they're violent and they're ready to hit the street now. So you have to have your trial. They were wrong with the move stuff because they were supposed to pull those people out and put them on trial. The same thing was supposed to happen to them. Those folk, the move organization was innocent until proven guilty. That was wrong. But two wrongs don't make it right. That don't mean that you go drop a bomb on Mar-a-Lago and kill the boy.
Nobody's saying drop a bomb on Mar-a-Lago. You brought that up. You said, what I'm saying is they already have all of the evidence that they need.
So conduct a trial. This is what they're doing.
Wait. They got witnesses.
Right.
They got emails.
Video. Absolutely.
They got phones.
Right.
They got evidence out the ass. They
Right.
got testimony. They got video.
Right.
I saw it. I'm a witness. I'll go down there and
Me too.
testify if they need it. I'll go down there and say, yeah, I saw that shit. I saw the whole shit.
Absolutely.
So why should they not treat him like they would treat any other American citizen that did some shit that they wasn't supposed to do?
See,
why? Because he's popular?
No. Again,
that's not how the law. Wait. You're not letting me finish. That's not how the law works.
Right. The law works. The law works that you pull your evidence together, you present your evidence in the trial, right? And then you decide guilt or innocence based on the trial.
They haven't even charged them.
No. But you didn't answer my question. The way the law works is you gather your evidence, you present your evidence. They're presenting their evidence now. They're presenting the evidence now. And then after this, now you're right. The next step would be to determine guilt or innocence based on this information that they're presenting. I agree with you. But you gotta put the trial on. You gotta put the trial on, you know. So
that's what they're doing. Have a trial. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the man should be charged. Then I'm saying he should have a trial. And then I'm saying he should be locked the fuck up.
I agree.
On treason charges, matter of fact.
I agree with that too. I agree with that. That was treason.
So if that don't happen, then that tells you that the United States government, and I don't care who's hear me say it, whoever's listening or bugging my phone or whatever they doing, who's ever listening, y'all motherfuckers are full of shit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I guess that brings the whole conversation full circle when you talk about what happens if he goes free. If he goes scot-free, you're right. That shows that, you know, he has a different level of a different
that
system.
Means the law don't apply to everybody.
Right.
And if it don't apply to everybody else, then it don't apply to me either.
It apply to anyone. Yeah, you're right.
Either it apply to everybody or it don't apply to nobody.
Now, I can't see him going to jail. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that if anything, like I predict that it'll get so raggedy, and if they keep doing what they're doing, which I hope they do, presenting their facts, that they'll turn a lot of his supporters against him. I still can't see him going to jail, but I think they'll come up with an agreement where he'll say, I won't run again or something like that. I don't think he'll go to jail. I think he'll strike a deal.
If he don't go to like I said, if he don't go to jail, then the whole shit is. If he doesn't go to jail for what he did, then the whole shit that tells you that this whole shit is fake. They still cut.
Well, but Knight, wait a minute. But they still cut deals for people, though, Knight. That judge cut a deal with you. He said, "I better not see you here again." They cut deals, and that's a part of it. That's a part of the system also.
It's different. It's my situation. You can't. Come on, man. That's not even the same shit.
But my point is that
you're talking about treason on your country.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about treason on your country.
Right.
You're talking about betraying the public trust of millions of people.
Absolutely.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Come on.
Knight, listen. I don't disagree with you that he need to go to that he should go to jail.
Black. You can't even put me in that category. Come on, Black. You can't do that.
You know, I just don't think it's gonna happen. All right. Now, this person said his supporters will never abandon him. They've already been proven that. Knight. Let me ask you this: did you see the ones? And what does it say about these people? The people that were testifying, right, during the hearings, talking about all of the illegal things that he did, and then when they asked them in the same breath, would you still vote for him? They say yes. I mean,
that's another
what kind
thing.
of madness is that?
Vote for him. He shouldn't be allowed to run for anything.
Well, but again, I mean I think that would be part of the deal. That would be part of the deal. You know, you can run for office again. But to what this person said though, his supporters would never abandon him. Did you see the dude that did that though? This dude talked about how Trump and his supporters, they was at his crib,
pressuring him.
Was dying.
The boy, the official,
Arizona, I think it was.
Boy, yeah.
Right. His daughter was dying. They sending him death messages. They messing with his wife. And then in the same breath, they said, would you vote for him again? And they said, yes.
Because they brainwashed. And just because people are brainwashed don't mean they right, and don't mean that they leader don't need to have done to them whatever it is
Like,
that
that
they
is
need to have
craziness.
done.
That is craziness. That's
It
crazy.
is
That's that
crazy.
Jim Jones stuff.
It
That's that
is.
Jim Jones
It's
stuff.
exactly that Jim Jones stuff. That's where I was at. Where I was told you I was at yesterday.
What you? Oh,
What happened to the no?
yeah.
What
Nah, I
happened
got
to the
you.
Jim Jones people?
Yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah,
when we was having a discussion before we got on air?
yeah. Right,
We was talking about like why do you think it would be different
right. Yeah,
once the economy breaks
yeah,
down and all
yeah,
that shit?
yeah.
This is why.
But
This is
but
why.
but I go back to what I said earlier, Nike. I think that that's why these hearings have to be strong because they have to try to deprogram these people. And they realize that. They realize that a lot of these people are on some old Jim Jones stuff. So they have to deprogram some of these people and show them that the mighty leader had them drinking a Kool-Aid. They got it. They have to
What better
show them
way?
that.
What better way of deprogramming these people than to lock up their leader?
See, no, you
Same way
can't just
like
do that.
Charlie
No,
Manson. Do
no,
you
no.
remember Charlie Manson?
Yeah, but he didn't have millions of people. Charlie Manson didn't have millions of people following him that have already showed that they're violent. That's the no. You gotta. But that's why I said that they understand that you have to handle this with kid gloves because again, now you talking about that powder keg. I don't think you could do that. You just can't go lock that boy up, like you just want to
What you
get out there
mean?
shooting your guns.
So
That's
you
why.
saying that the law should be different
No,
for
no, no, no,
him
no, no, no,
because
no,
he
no,
got a lot of people
no,
that follow
no,
him.
no, no, no. Not the law should be
You
different.
just said that.
No, I did not say that. You can't put those words in my mouth. I say that they have to continue to put forth their trial. They have to continue with the
You
hearing.
said they
They have
need
to keep
to. You
putting forth
said
the
they had to
evidence.
put on kid gloves
Oh,
because they're so his followers don't get mad and cause an uproar.
and
That's what you
what
said.
I mean, let me explain what I mean by kid gloves. What I mean by kid gloves is they have to continue with the hearing like they're doing. They have to put forth the evidence to show them who the dear leader truly is. They have to show how corrupt he really is to peel some of those people that drank the Kool-Aid off. Because those people that have been brainwashed, they have to. We have to get enough of them to see this dude for who he truly is.
So
That's
what
my
if they
point.
don't see? So what if they don't
Some
never
of
get
them won't.
unbrainwashed and they
Like
don't
some of
see
them
it?
won't, but some of them
So
will, and they've already
what
showed
if
that
they
it's
don't though?
happening.
What if they don't?
No. Listen,
So
I answered that.
answer my question. What
I
if they don't?
said like some of them won't, but a lot of them will, and they've already
That's
shown.
not answering my question.
I
I
did.
said, what if they don't get unbrainwashed?
When you said they, you mean every last one of them, or you just mean what? What do you mean by that?
I'm saying, what if the majority of those folks don't get unbrainwashed? Then what?
Well, you at some point you still gotta enact the law. I mean, if he needs to go to jail, then he needs to go to jail.
Then
But
it
but
don't.
they've already. But listen
Then
to
it
this now.
don't
Let me
matter. Then
respond. Let
that's
me
what I'm
respond.
saying. Then
They
we
are,
saying. Then we on the same page.
but let me say this though. They're already showing that the tide is turning, and that some of his past supporters are now turning against him, saying that they think that what he did was wrong. So what
Yeah,
they're
but they
doing is
said in
working.
the same sentence, most of them say they would still vote for him. So,
Well,
all right,
yeah.
yeah.
Let me read this. Then we're gonna move on. The only
right.
thing they play justice out amongst their own is when they need to.
Satiate a bigger scheme.
Oh, okay. All right. They lost me that one. The only time they play justice out among. Oh, okay. I got it. Okay. Well, yeah, true. All right, you ready to move on? Oh,
Yeah.
that's Pat. Pat, how you doing?
She said,
Time.
"Tom."
Got to move
She
on.
said, "Move it
Perfect
on.
timing. Move it on. She's still
Move it
being a
on."
teacher. Listen, she's still being a
All
teacher, telling us what to do. All right.
right.
All right.
All
We
right.
got forgiving oneself versus accountability,
Right.
traditional roles, and Neurolink.
Oh, I got to hit the Neuralink.
Neuralink, you want to go with that one?
Yeah,
All right,
got
first
to hit the
night,
Neuralink.
give us the elevator description of what Neuralink is, or what we're talking about.
All right. So,
Neuralink is
so
Elon Musk, right?
Elon Musk, right? Billionaire, I guess, quote fingers genius, if you want to call him that. All right. He has this new technology. Well, it's not really even. Well, yeah, I'll say new
Right.
technology that they started working on back in like 2015,
Mhm.
something like that.
Yep.
2015, around in there. So it has developed into a thing. Well, let me tell you what it is first.
Right.
It's this thing that where they're able to give you a digital implant, a chip into your head, right?
Mhm.
And they are and it has like microscopic fibers that
Right.
connect to the sensory
The brain waves.
the sensory brain waves in your
Right.
head,
Right.
right? So with this technology, you can actually be controlled or control uh,
Computer.
devices,
Right.
computer devices,
Right.
via Bluetooth,
Hmm.
wireless connections, and everything else. So they can actually implant this chip into people like disabled people,
Hmm.
and have them be able to use the limbs that they weren't able to use
Right.
before.
Right.
That's
That's the positive
quote,
side of it.
that's the supposedly the positive side,
Right. Pat said, I
right?
ain't getting that.
Right, me either, Pat. I don't
Right.
blame you. So it's supposed to work with your it's supposed to upload your consciousness uh to and from whatever device it's connected to,
Right. All right.
right?
Right. Okay. So in other words, like this Neuralink will give people the opportunity or the ability to, like you said, run computers, run devices just by thought alone.
Right.
Just by thought alone. Right.
Just by
So
thought.
now the other side that people were talking about, the negative side of that, they were saying like we're getting closer and closer to Terminator stage, or now they were talking about can it be hacked, which is a
Of course it can.
legitimate question. But now the other side of that is that we also have to weigh it against the positives. You again, like you brought up, somebody that is paralyzed. The thought that they could put on fake limbs and control those limbs with the mind, is that a positive? I think that's a positive. Now, my spin on the whole thing, and I'm gonna say this part, then I'm gonna listen to you because I'm sure you have a rebuttal. My spin on it, Nike, is that every technology that we come up with, for the most part, there's a positive. There are benefits, and then there are things that can be detrimental. There are also possible negative consequences of it. But I don't think that you not move forward with the technology because you're afraid of what it might become on the negative side. Does that make sense?
I hear what you're saying, but the thing is, the thing is, and you know this, our government and the people that are in charge of our government, if they were playing like, you know what, we're going to do this for the goodness of humanity,
Right.
that would if it was like that, that would be great.
Right.
But it's not. That's not how they're going to use it.
Well, now let me throw this
They're
in.
going to use it to control people for one, right? And then first, what you said, can it be hacked? The
Right.
answer to this is yes, right? I'm a computer engineer, and I'm telling you that anything that's connected to a
Connected.
computer
Right.
can
Correct.
be hacked.
Correct.
That's first
If
and
it's
foremost.
connected to, well, that wait a minute. Let me go back for a second. That's like if it's connected to some kind of network, right? If it's connected, if
Right.
it's just in your crib, or if it's just between your brain and a computer and not connected to some kind of network, could it still be hacked?
Well, if it's connected to your brain and a computer, then it's on a network.
But every computer doesn't have to be connected to a network, right? I mean, you can have a computer that's not on Wi-Fi or not connected.
Well, then that's not how this works. This works off of Bluetooth and wireless,
Right.
right?
But it's not.
So if I connect to that Bluetooth and wireless network,
okay, you said if you
if
hack
I
into
hack
it.
into that network,
Okay,
then I can hack into whatever, you know what I mean?
Now, okay, now let me throw this into it also, Knight. One of the other things that he talked about, which I thought was interesting, he said one of the things that people are afraid of is AI. When you talk about the Terminator, you're talking about robots that learn. But one of the things that he is saying is that having this might get us to the point where you don't need computers that can learn, because now you will constantly control the computer. The computer doesn't need to learn because you're controlling the computer. You understand what I'm saying? So again, again, just to bring it back, Nike, I still don't think. I think that you need to consider where it can go off the rails and try to put safeguards in place to make sure, or to mitigate people doing those negative things. But at the same time, I don't think that you can not move forward with that type of technology because you're afraid that it might happen. Perfect example is a self-driving car. You know, people said the same thing. You're right. Self-driving cars can be hacked. They're connected to networks, but they're still rolling them out.
Stacy.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Mm-hmm. What you mean?
Slow down. Look, so first of all, a human will never be as smart as artificial intelligence unless we're connected to it.
Right.
That's first of all.
Right.
Artificial intelligence is built in such a way where it learns behaviors, it learns patterns, it learns, right? And it constantly learns at a quicker rate than any human.
Right.
It can hold more data than any human.
Right.
So when you say you're going to give a computer, an artificial intelligence, access to your physical brain, right? Then that eventually that artificial intelligence is going to control what you do and what you say.
But now,
how you act.
But the Neurolink, though, the devices that you'll be controlling, these fake arms and fake legs, they're not learning. They're still only moving based on your thought process. So you're not putting anything in them to learn. They're just following your commands, basically. That's what that, like I said, that's the part that was interesting, because he was saying that no, but because what he was saying is that this might slow us down from moving closer to artificial intelligence, because you will be able to control these devices by your thought. You don't need the device to be able to learn, because you're going to be in control of it. So therefore, artificial intelligence won't be so necessary. At least that's what he's saying. So again, I just don't.
You aren't that Stace. You're not even in the right. You're not even in the right ballpark. You're not even in the right state.
I just don't think.
Have you researched that at all?
Yeah. Like, I read. I mean, I didn't read books on it, but yeah, I read what it was supposed to do. Yeah, I did. And I mean, and again, we're not trying to have some deep technical conversation about what Neuralink is. We're just talking about, at a high level, that this technology, they're working on it. They have it in monkeys, and they're saying it's been successful in monkeys. And my position on the whole Neuralink thing is that, again, I don't have a problem with them, with that type of technology, them attempting to roll that out. I put that in the same category as a self-driving car. I don't think that.
Speaking of the monkeys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that 15 of the 23 monkeys that they put it in died?
No, I didn't see that.
Did you know that one of the a couple of the monkeys that they found that was in this report that they had to file, the monkey chewed their own limbs off because they don't know why, but the monkey chewed their own limbs off.
Well, but
one monkey. Wait, well, I'm just saying, like.
But that's why you do trials, though. Like, you try it in animals first before you put it in humans. So that's what the whole point.
Now. They testing it in humans right now.
No, well, wait a minute. Well, I didn't see. Well, put it this way. Again, the whole point of doing animal trials is to see how they act and what they're gonna do, and work out the bugs and work out the kinks before you start putting it in humans in mass. Now, again, I don't have a problem with that. I think that if this technology exists and they're going to try to roll it out, people that have been in wheelchair bound, that they can't go certain places, they can't walk up steps because they're in wheelchairs, for them to be able to get put on fake legs and control their legs with this implant that's in their brain, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, that part of it might be okay if they could figure out a way to make that safe to the point where an artificial intelligence that thing is connected to can't take over the person's brain that
Right.
it's connected to. Like
Right.
when we're talking about artificial, and here's another thing. Do you know that the thing that performs the procedure to do this is an artificially intelligent robot?
Yeah, well, they're doing surgery with that too. I don't have a problem with that. That's a good thing, right? Yeah, they've been doing
That's not a good
surgeries
thing.
with
That's not a
like
good
they've been
thing.
doing surgeries with robots because sometimes there's some, but that's why they don't have to cut people the way they used to now, because they can use a person can control a robot arm, and that arm is a lot steadier than a human arm, and it could go into your arm and go into your veins and do other things. I
But
think
when
that's
we're
good.
talking about we're talking about artificial intelligence, Steve.
Good
And with
evening.
artificial intelligence, it learns. And
Mm.
when artificial intelligence learns, it does the best thing. It's programmed to learn. And so what if this thing learns that, you know what, the
The human
reason
race,
that this planet is
like
or the
Terminator,
most the way to get rid of the shit that's
global warming,
the
right?
right to get rid of some of these people.
Right. Yeah, that's the Terminator. See, now you don't went into the movies now. I'm saying,
No,
I
that's
mean,
that's like that's
I,
serious shit though. Like you making a joke about it, but
I'm
you
just saying.
talking
I
about,
mean,
oh no, they could just. I'm trying to tell. Look, Facebook had to shut down computers a couple years ago
mhm,
because some of their artificial intelligent computers
right.
created their own language and they
Mm,
were communicating with each other,
mm.
and the people at Facebook didn't know that what they were
What
what
they
they
were
were
saying,
saying.
right? They saying
So they
kill the
was like, oh,
humans.
let me pull a plug on this shit.
They
So what if
saying
they
kill
wouldn't
the
have
humans.
caught that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, so do you say don't move forward with that kind of technology at all, or you just say be careful when you're rolling it out?
I'm I'm saying that my opinion, and this is just my opinion,
Right.
is that we don't really need it.
So again, so the
Why
person
do we
that's
need it?
so again the person that's
Why is it
paralyzed.
necessary? Tell me why is it necessary?
I'm going to answer that. So the person that's paralyzed in the wheelchair, the Iraq veteran or the veteran that got their
Right,
leg shot off,
right,
that can't walk or can't do anything, they're wheelchair bound,
right.
and they would love to be mobile again to kind of rejoin society as comfortable as possible. You don't think that there will be some benefits in that person being able to walk with a fake leg?
Um, I hate to say this, but no,
They
because
don't.
I'm not willing to risk an entire population of people just for a few people that are disabled and handicapped.
I get that. I get that. That's you're saying with this other person, the the joint stop said a lot of bad come in the name of progress. I'm just saying.
Right,
You're
right.
right. You're right. See, but again, I just don't think that you could say let's not move forward because we came up with the automobile. Let's not move forward. Let me finish. Let me finish. We figured out the motor. Let's not create the automobile because they're going to start going too fast and too many people are going to die in auto accidents. That's my point. I just think that you have to find a way to roll it out and have things and ways to mitigate some of those negative consequences as a result of progress. I don't think you can stop progress. I just think you do everything you can to anticipate and control it.
Listen
You
to
know.
this, and I know you're gonna think I sound crazy,
Mhm.
but did you know that you and I and everybody else listening to this, we're actually AI.
Yeah, you mentioned that
So
before.
they're basically just trying to give us an upgrade.
Mhm.
They're gonna upgrade us. Like, think about the human. I already remember I sent you. I sent you that link where you can compare. It's a direct parallel between how a human body functions and a computer function.
Right,
We run on electricity the same as a computer runs on electricity,
right,
right?
right.
Our brain waves are nothing but and the electrical synapses in our body are the same things like the zeros and ones
Yep.
that travel through a computer board, a
Agreed.
computer
Okay.
system,
Okay.
right?
All right. Yep.
Our heart is our the heart would be our a
Pumping system.
PSU, a
Right. And
power
after this one,
system.
we're gonna move on. Right.
Right. All right.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Our nervous system is the fiber optic cabling which sends the signal. Man,
I
this shit is
understand.
so deep.
I
Like,
understand. Like, but again, I just don't think we can stop technology, man, because it might go around. I don't think we can do that. I think you just have to
maybe we
think about
can't
it.
stop it, but I tell you what, they not putting that shit in me
Right.
as far
Right.
as I can help it.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it. So I mean, I understand. All right. You ready, man?
Yeah, let's
We
do
got two
one.
more.
All right.
We got forgiving oneself versus accountability and traditional roles.
I picked the last two. You go ahead.
Okay,
Which one?
forgiving oneself versus accountability.
All right.
Uh, uh, was having a conversation with someone, and last week we were talking about um, growth. We were talking about being able to take a good look in the mirror and being honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself, faults and all. That's the only way to grow.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of that, though, Nike, I think that, and sometimes you hear people. We talked about the hypocrisy earlier of the politicians. I think you hear sometimes people seem to just blow things away, saying, "Well, you know what? I did that in the past. That was the past, and that's it." So I guess what it got me wondering is, what's the fine line between saying, okay, I did something in the past and taking accountability for it versus just saying that was then and I'm not even going to think about it because there's nothing I could do about something that happened already. You know what I mean? Because I think it's a fine line. It's a fine line between saying, okay, yeah, I did those things and I'm going to work everything. I'm going to work to change them to not do those things again. And yeah, it was in the past, but you still have to be accountable for them. What's the line? What's the fine? What's the gray area between those two? You understand the question?
I'm not sure I do.
I mean, because I think, okay, if I take a look at, okay, just take me for instance.
I think I do. I think I do. If you mean like forgiving, like if you
Forgiving
forgive
oneself.
yourself, like let's say you was going out with a girl, right, that you
Right.
just met, right, and you kind of fucked her over, right?
Right.
Yeah, you can just
You-
forgive yourself
right.
and like,
Well, you
I,
have to.
I didn't really mean to do that, but she'd be all right,
Right.
right?
You have
That's
to be
not
able to
being
do that.
That's not being accountable though. Being accountable is calling that girl up, like, yeah, I know what I did was fucked up, and I apologize, and then you can leave it however you want to leave it,
Mhm.
or not even to have to apologize, but
Right.
just knowing in your own heart that you don't do that again
Right.
because that was fucked up.
Right.
You get what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That's being accountable. That's being accountable.
Right. See,
Like
and
just
again,
saying,
I
I
did
mean,
it in the
yeah,
past, right?
I did it. I mean, it's all right. It's cool.
Because you have to be able to move forward. You can't let something that you did in the past chew you up, and you not move forward. You have to be able to, like you said, acknowledge it and put it in the past, and forgive yourself if it was something wrong. You have to be able to forgive yourself because if not, it could eat you up. You know, you have to be able to put it to,
You can forgive yourself as long as you learn from it.
as
That's
long as
what
you learn
life
from
is
it.
all about.
Right,
Is learning from your mistakes. You know what I
right,
mean? Like
right,
nobody out here is perfect. You
right.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everybody has flaws. I got flaws. You got flaws. Everybody got flaws.
Right, right.
But the thing is, you work on those flaws as best you can, and you acknowledge the key, like you
Acknowledgement.
said,
Right,
is acknowledging the
right,
flaws.
right.
And then forgive yourself, like, man, I'm fucked up. So
Mm-hmm.
let me
Or
work
that
on it.
disrespect.
That
Right, right,
that's
right,
that's forgiveness
right.
when you working to correct those flaws,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right, right,
And
right.
that's forget that, and then that runs counter to, I mean, that runs parallel to accountability.
Accountability. Right, right,
Now you're showing
right.
accountability.
That's the growth.
But if you just acknowledge and forgive yourself without
Move
working
on.
on it,
Right.
then
You're not being
that's
accountable.
forgiving yourself without accountability.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fine line, man. And like you said, they go hand in hand. You know, but I agree with you. You know, the key is to acknowledge it and then to work on yourself to not repeat those. You know, to not repeat those
Right.
same actions and to grow from them. You know that.
Right.
You know. But
Right.
all right, man. You ready? We got last one.
All right.
Traditional roles. Traditional roles. What are your thoughts, man?
Well, what did you mean by that?
Are
When you say
they? Do
traditional
we
roles?
still want those? Do we still? Are they still? Do they still have a place? You know, do they still have a place? Traditional? Do they still exist? You know,
Hey,
or
I don't think they exist the way they used to exist, but God, I wish they did.
whoa? What you mean by that? Now remember now this is the trick. It becomes tough to say I want half of them. You know, I mean, how do
You
you
want
do
half
that?
of what?
I want half of the traditional roles to come back, but not all of them. I don't want everything that comes with it. I only want some of them. I mean,
What
when
would
you
you?
say,
What does that mean? What is half then? What
I
you?
mean,
I don't
okay, when
understand.
you said, okay, maybe I didn't understand your point. When you said, I wish they came back, were you
Yeah.
saying like, what men being chivalrous, men, you know, the women being home at home, working from home, and the man going out and work? Is that what you mean?
Uh. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you, so okay,
Yeah,
so
because I don't see nothing wrong with like a man having his wife stay home, take care of the house, take care of the kids, have something, cook for him when he gets home.
mhm, mhm.
If I'm providing the
Right,
way I supposed to provide,
right, right.
then I don't see nothing wrong with that. But that's the key. You can't ask for a woman to be in a traditional role
If you're
if
not gonna,
you
right,
ain't if you ain't
provide,
fulfilling
right,
your end.
right,
So in order
right.
for her to be in a traditional role, then you have to make sure all the bills is paid. You have
Mhm.
to make sure that you got enough money coming in to take care of everything
Right.
that needs to be taken care of in the house. You
So
can't
you
just
would
ask
like,
her to hmm?
so you would like to see, and it's not just that though. You know, it's everything that
Oh,
goes
I would
along
love
with
for
that.
Venus to stay home and just take care of me. Hell yeah. Who wouldn't
I
want
mean,
that?
but what else comes with that though? That's
What you mean?
marriage. Marriage. You didn't have. I mean, would that then wipe away gay marriage? I mean, you know what I mean.
How?
That's what I'm asking. Does would that
That has
roll
nothing
all
to
of that
do with
stuff
gay
back
marriage,
also?
though. That has nothing to
Okay.
do with gay marriage.
Okay. So when you say that, you're talking about traditional roles within your
No, I
household,
mean, if it's the same, it
traditional
works the
roles
same
in the
thing with a
family.
gay marriage. Let's say two men were together,
Right.
or two women were together. If one wanted to go out while the other one stayed home and took care of the house and took care if they got kids, it's the same thing. What's the
Let me
difference?
ask you tonight. Okay, what would most women say about that? Well, I mean, I guess would you think that
Some
most
women
women
would
would
like
say,
it, some women won't.
right,
Some
right,
some women are ambitious. Some women are independent. You know what I
now this
mean?
is where we need somebody to
And
click on. Come on, Lynette.
some women are independent, and that's
Right.
fine. But you know, if it's an individual situation. You know what I
Right,
mean? I
right,
think it's a couple's choice,
right, right.
or
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah. No, no, I agree with
me
that. I agree with that.
personally, I was just
But
giving you my personal, like that's what I would like. You know what I
but
mean?
but at the same time, and again, I'm just kind of I'm being devil's advocate, I guess, looking at it from the other side. If you're the breadwinner and your wife stays home and takes care of the home, that means that basically you have the would that mean, and this is the question, that basically you have the final say so because you're the one upholding the home. Would that mean that she could still be independent?
Final say so.
Would that, well, disregard that question. Can a woman still be independent if she's completely dependent on a man?
Can she be dependent if she's
Independent.
well? That
Can she
you
be independent?
how yeah, that's you can't be independent if you're dependent on a man.
So
That's the whole
right,
definition of being independent.
right. So and you're right. Some women would like that, but then, like you said, other women that
There's
are
some women who would
independent.
like to don't want to go out and work every
Oh,
day,
absolutely.
and
I'm sure
would
a lot
like
of them
their
don't.
husband to. There's a lot of women like that,
But
you know
then,
what I mean? But there's a lot of
but night,
women who have ambition, who,
exactly,
they want to
right.
go out and make
And
their
I
own money. And there's
and maybe
nothing
that
wrong
would be
with
the
that. I'm
no,
not saying there's
it's not.
anything wrong with that.
And maybe that's
What
where
I'm
the challenge would be, though, because then a lot of women would have to, a lot of those independent women would have to give up that independence and become dependent.
Now, if you're saying like traditional roles, like the man run the household,
I mean, but that's what we're talking about, right?
whether two people are working or not, like
What you mean, like,
for me, whether I'm working or I'm not working, my house is my house. I mean, it's her house.
right,
I bought it for her.
right,
You know what I mean?
right,
But what I'm saying is, I'm the king up in this bitch. You know what
right,
I'm saying? This
right,
I'm the king in this castle. She's the queen in this castle.
right,
You get what I'm saying?
right.
Like that traditional role. I mean, to me, that ain't gonna never change.
Mm,
I mean, and that's just my personal opinion. I mean, I
right,
don't know if that's what's the word they use, male chauvinist or not.
right, right.
But
I mean,
you
but
know,
what you just said, though, you're not saying that you're the end all be all. You still run it as, well, maybe this is a question. You're the
what you mean
king of
end all
the.
be all?
I mean,
We make decisions together,
that's my
right?
point. That's what I was about to say. Right,
We
right.
make
You're
decisions
not you're not
together.
the you're not the king, as if what you say go and that's it. You come together.
Well,
You run
there's
the
certain
home.
situations.
You run your home
No,
as a
no.
team. You run the home as a
We
team.
we run our home as a team,
Right.
but there's certain situations that, and she knows that because like what, and I'm just I can't speak on anybody else's
Right. Of course.
situation. I'm just speaking on mine.
Right.
I don't say a lot. She does what she does, and that's fine,
Right.
right?
Right.
And I most of the time I don't care one way or the other
Right.
what how to sit, whatever
Mhm.
things taking place, whatever. But
Mhm.
there's sometimes when I say this is the way shit is gonna be,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's the way shit is gonna be. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
that there's a certain, like, there's certain times when she knows when, like, no, I better not fuck with him like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or like he said that this is the way it needs to be, so this
Right.
is the way it needs to
Right.
be.
Right.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I think that
right,
as long as you're a good decision maker, but
right,
again, I think
right,
you're
right,
supposed to
right,
take
right. And
your
that
partners.
goes
You're
back to
supposed to
trust
take
and
the other
everything. She
person's
trusts me to
thought
make those
into
decisions. Right,
consideration. You hear her point of view, and you two
right,
hash it out. But then
right,
you're right. If there's a disagreement, one person has to make a decision.
right,
That's there's no way
right,
around it. You
right.
can't compromise on everything. You
Right.
know,
And that's what I mean. Like, yeah,
right,
there's most things I don't give a shit either way.
right, yeah, yeah.
But there's some things that, like,
If there's a
yo,
disagreement, this
yeah.
is what we need to do. Right.
And
Okay.
that's just in my opinion, that's just the part of being a man. Like,
Right.
you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Everybody can't wear the pants in a relationship.
Right.
There's
Right.
only one pair of pants in each
Right.
relationship.
Yeah.
And I ain't
Yeah.
saying the guy has to have them,
Right.
who has to wear them,
Right.
but they can't be two pair of pants.
Right.
That's too much
It won't,
conflict.
it won't work. Right.
It
Agreed.
won't work.
Agreed.
Right. Yeah.
All right. All right, man. Anything else, Nike? That we hit all 4 of them.
Yeah. No. Everything. Man. I'm just saying, man. People, y'all have to start waking up, man. Like reality is we living in a different age now. Reality is a little different than what most of us are accustomed to, what we grew up in, man. And we got to be smart. Like we can't
Absolutely.
just we have to we have to be smart, and not just smart, but we have to be aware of what's going on, and not just what we not just hearsay, but we have to actually know what's going on, because if you don't, you're gonna get caught sleeping.
That's right.
And those that don't get right gonna get left.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's all you can say.
Agreed.
So all I want to say, man, is look out for Real Brothers Sports coming up soon. We hope to have it rolled out by the time the NFL season starts. That's NFL Sports with my man Fab and Jay.
You mean Real Brothers Sports?
Yeah,
You said NFL Sports. You mean
Real
Brothers
Brothers Sports. Yeah, Real Brothers Sports with Fab and Jay.
Right.
NFL didn't hire us yet.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Real Brothers. So I want you to this Wednesday we got the book club on the compendium of the Emerald Tablets. Got it right here. It was a good read, so I'm gonna give a review on that, and then that's all we got. And make sure that y'all keep an eye on the news and all that. Because they
be prepared. Be ready.
Be prepared. And love is the new black, and love y'all.
All right. In closing, again, to echo everything TL said, we hope you enjoyed the conversation. We still trying to get somebody to join us. The conversation flows a lot better when we have that third opinion. It gives us other things to consider, other things to think about. And if you have a thought that we didn't bring up, somebody else probably has the same thought. So we still trying to spur somebody on, or spur a few of you on to join us live when we have these conversations. But in the meantime, we hope you enjoyed yourself. We hope you saw yourself in one of our opinions. Don't forget to please subscribe to the Real Brothers Live on
please subscribe to the YouTube channel
if you haven't done so already.
The views are getting up there,
right?
But people are viewing without subscribing.
Right.
So
please subscribe,
like, and
That's right.
All that other social media type shit.
That's right. And you can still catch us on. You can catch us on all the major platforms. This won't be up. This will be up probably later on this week, so you can catch it if you missed any of it. We appreciate you tuning in, and we see you back here next week.
All right.
We love y'all.
Good night. Love y'all.